A daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
All right, it's that time again. It's time for Morning Mindset. We're going to help you get your mind right. And today we're going to talk about discipline. Oh, discipline. Yes, indeed. When I entered the United States Marine Corps many, many moons ago, back in the year 1987, and I attended basic training at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina, I discovered that they had their own special ways of helping recruits to learn to discipline their minds, their mouths, and their bodies. Now, many people who look from the outside in at military training, specifically Marine Corps training, because Marine Corps basic training is very, very rigorous, to say the least. And one of the ways that they do that, they don't have people say, oh, it's barbaric and it's mean and they hurt feelings and they're offensive and so forth. Well, you only have so much time to teach so many subjects. And a Marine recruit has to learn a lot in a very relatively short period of time. There's a tremendous amount of physical skill and mental skill and discipline that has to be instilled in that man or woman before they can graduate, be called a United States Marine, and continue to move on in their career. So they don't have a lot of time to screw around. Every minute, I told someone the other day, I was talking to my oldest son, and I was explaining to him. He said, "Dad, don't you think that it would be good if they instituted this type of physical training or strength training into basic training, into Marine Corps boot camp?" And I said, "Yeah, it would be good." I said, "But they don't have the time to do that." And he said, "Well, they can make time." I said, "You don't understand. Every minute," and I'm not being facetious here, every minute of the training day is scripted and scheduled. Marine Corps drill instructors do not waste 1 minute of time. And because they don't have time to waste, they don't have time to sit down and to explain to recruits and say, "All right, little Johnny, we're going to do this, and this is why we're going to do it, and this is the reasoning behind it." No, they just do. So how do Marine Corps drill instructors force Marine Corps recruits to discipline their minds, their mouths, and their bodies? Well, one of the ways is you are not allowed to use pronouns. You're like, what? You can't use pronouns? Yes, when a Marine Corps recruit speaks, he does not use pronouns. He does not use the words you or I or me or he or she or it or what have you. When a Marine Corps recruit speaks, he would say something like, "Sir, this recruit requests permission to make a head call, sir." You say, "But that's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's pointless. It's harassment. It's treating them like robots." No, it's not. It's absolutely very deliberate. And this is why. Up to the time that a teenager, and most people go to basic training when they're a teenager or their very early 20s. I actually turned 20 years old the week that I left to go to basic training. So I was kind of an old recruit from that aspect. Most of them are 17, 18, 19. Most are 18. But up to that point in time in your life, you probably, especially if you're 18 or 19 or 20 years old, you've been very used to saying whatever you want, whenever you wanted to, and you really don't think about what comes out of your mouth. How many of you know people who it seems as though they don't engage their brains before they open their mouths? You hear people speak and you say, did you even think about what you were going to say? Or did you just put your mouth on autopilot and start making words? When you were in basic training and you were speaking, now obviously when we were talking to each other, When recruits spoke to each other, we didn't speak in no pronoun lingity, but you do not speak to a drill instructor or anyone else in authority and use pronouns. And there's a very specific reason for that. Because in order to do that, before you open your mouth and start spitting out words, you have to engage your brain and think. I know, it's crazy, right? And like I said, how many of you know people in your life who it seems as though they don't actually engage their brains before they open their mouth and just let words come spilling out? Now, the other way that they taught you to engage in discipline, to discipline your body, was through this thing that we called close order drill. I mean, a drill instructor, that's what they teach you. They teach you close order drill. And you do left face, right face, about face, order arms and you march and so forth. And you do it in order. And you perfect every movement and motion of your body. You stand straight and erect and tall, and you look straight forward, and you hold the rifle exactly in the correct place. And you move the rifle around your body exactly in the correct way. And you pivot your heels in exactly the correct way. And some people have said, well, close order drill is antiquated and it's ridiculous and we don't do that. It was important way back in the olden days when we needed soldiers to line up shoulder to shoulder and listen to voice commands and engage in combat in that way. But we don't need to do that anymore. So close order drill is pointless. No, close order drill is absolutely essential. Again, because it forces the recruit to discipline their body to do it right. And the only way that they're going to do close order drill, that they're going to perform it correctly all the time on command, is for their minds to command their bodies to do it right. That's how they discipline themselves. Let's examine the importance of self-discipline. Many people out there, you, me, and a lot of people view the term discipline as a negative. Because why? Well, because it makes you think about punishment, right? We discipline children, or at least we used to in the United States of America. We used to discipline children when they misbehaved, which was a way of showing them that behavior was wrong and they needed to fix themselves. We don't do that anymore. We have conversations with our 3-year-olds about changing their ways of behavior, which is just pointless. If you're trying to talk to a 3-year-old about the error of their ways, you might as well go and talk to a wall about the error of its ways, because a 3-year-old doesn't have the capacity to learn. You swat them on their fanny and you say, don't do that again. That stove is hot, and they don't do it again. George Patton once said that all wars are a result of a lack of discipline on the part of one party and the need to reestablish discipline by another party. Your personal successes and your personal failures can largely be attributed to either an application of or a lack of discipline. Absolutely. You look in the mirror or you step on a scale if you're that bold, and you look at that scale and you're like, when I was 18 years old, I weighed blank. And now I weigh blank plus 100 pounds. How did I get this way? I don't know. Maybe you say to yourself, I know I need to quit smoking. I know I do. I have to quit smoking. I know it's bad for me. I know it's bad for my health. I puff on these, I'm a pack a Marlboro a day smoker, and I know I need to stop. Why don't you stop? You don't stop because of a lack of discipline. Now, maybe you have personal successes in your lives and you can point to those successes. And I would say to you that if you achieved and you had having success, it's probably because you disciplined yourself and you did the work. Either way, discipline is not a pejorative. It is not a negative thing. Before you say, well, life isn't fair or this person is lucky, and that is a very, very typical human reaction. We see people who have succeeded. And, the sour grapes thing is to say, well, they sure are lucky, or they sure did get lucky. or that, sadly, there's a tendency of people who view the strong and they want to cut them down. Musclehead or this or that. And why is that? Well, because they know that in order to do that themselves, that they would have to exercise some serious and absolute discipline, and they really don't want to do it. Say, well, I can't because what? Because I'm going to give myself an excuse. Have you heard that before on this show? Excuses and reasons. Are you making excuses for yourself not to exercise discipline? And you say, all right, Paul, all right, smart guy. So let's say that I'm not exercising discipline the way I should. There's one way, and I'm not going to make you cut all pronouns out of your vocabulary, and I'm not going to make you do close order drill either. But one thing that you could do, let us say that you have made the decision that you're going to be more fit, right? You made the decision to either lose weight or to gain strength or whatever. You're going to do something physical. And you make a commitment to join a gym or you buy some gym equipment. But let's say you make a commitment and you tell yourself, I'm going to go on Wednesday. But by the time Wednesday comes around, you've had a long day, you're frustrated, you're tired, you don't want to go. And so you don't, or you do. When you don't want to go, when you don't feel like it, and I'm not talking you're throwing up, and I'm not talking you're sick, I'm talking you just don't feel like it. You say to yourself, I don't feel like it today. I'll do it tomorrow. No. Make yourself do it. Make yourself go. If you can make yourself go to the gym, even though you don't want to, that is an exercise in discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, today in our modern world, discipline has been, like I said, it's viewed as a pejorative. It's viewed as a negative. Discipline is not a negative. It's a very important positive. And many of us lost that as we grew up and got older because why? Because everything around you is set up to make your life comfortable. Everything and everyone you see, whether it's fast food or whether it's clothing or makeup or chairs or beds, or everything is designed around your comfort. But discipline is not about comfort, is it? No. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even though you're tired. So, ladies and gentlemen, my assignment for you today is to find one small area of your life where you can exercise discipline over yourself, and it will snowball eventually. Like I said, I'm not going to make you cut pronouns out of your vocabulary. I'm not going to make you do close order drill. So successes and failures, both of them can be attributed to either an application of discipline or a lack thereof. All right, that is it for today. I gave you a little bit of bonus time, or a couple extra minutes on Friday, because I think you deserve it. Thank you once again for joining me here for Morning Mindset, for letting me help you get your mind right. And if you'd like to read more and explore, well, I invite you to do that. Go to Amazon.com, type in the words Paul G. Markel, Markel, super simple, and you'll find all of my books on either paperback or as Kindle versions. I'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markel, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.